Hey, back for another one. Oh my goodness, those lights are ridiculous behind me. I'm back for another review of a book that I read recently. Uh, the autobiography of Gucci Man, Roderick Davis. I saw this when it first came out. And the first thing I thought was, man, like most Gucci Man fans don't read, so I don't know why he would write a book, but I guess, and that's just a joke. That's just a joke. I guess he wanted the whole world, mainstream people to kind of get an understanding about who he was. Most of the stuff about his cases and all the stuff he went through, kind of knew because this dude was like the last this was the last person, in rap that I really like followed, got all the albums. I mean, Trap House 3, the Lean, the Gas and the Molly, the Armageddon, the Triple Disc. You know what I'm saying? Trap House 1 through 5, the State versus Roger Davis, It's all stuff that I was really on about 2011, 2012, 2013. That's all I was really listening to Gucci all day long, me and my little partner Kendall. So, you know, just wanted to learn a little bit more about him. I learned a lot, like why he called his label 1017. That was his grandfather address when he was younger. He used to live with his grandfather. He talks about his father and his grandfather. They both were alcoholics. His father started out as a kind man. You know, got into some trouble and had to go up north and left him and his mother and his brother. His father came back, but his father was basically an alcoholic by the time he grew up. And you see, how it comes down the generations. That's why if you have that in your family, it's best to steer clear of. I had to learn that of my own self. If you have that substance abuse, alcoholism in your family, just don't even go down that road because I don't know. Some people say it's generational curses, or some people say it's genetics, but it's best to stay away from it altogether. Whatever it is. You might have a family member, that was, I don't know, a cheater in his sex life. It's best to, you got to kind of know where you're coming from. But anyway, Gucci, you know, I mean, he talks about how he met Zaytoven. That was one of his producers and drummer boy. And how he, got with Waka Flocka's mom, was his manager. I never knew who that lady was, but now I get it. I think she's in one of those loving hip hop shows or whatever. I don't know. I don't really keep up with that, but this guy went through a lot of stuff. Started selling drugs at a young age. Start and his music. You can really tell that it's authentic. Like he really lived that life. About the Texaco. He always rap about the Texaco. Him and his friend OJ, the Juice Man. He used to serve people, I guess, by the Texaco. And this guy just, at one time he couldn't get out of trouble, but finally got sent to federal prison. And, I think that, and once you get to a certain age, once you get to like maybe approaching 40, you kind of like wake up. And then doing stupid stuff, it's not cool for a person of an older age. See, a 20-year-old, they can get away with certain things because society will be like, okay, that's a kid. But, you know, when you're doing crazy stuff at 40, it's like, oh, this man is ridiculous. They're going to slam you on that. And he had so many chances, though. But the guy is brilliant, man. Most of the music that they playing now, 2018, is influenced by him. Even I don't even know who the guys are, but I listen to the little trap beats and all, and sometimes I hear it, and it's like they all imitating Gucci. you know. And another thing he talked about was the lean. It was something that was really big at one time in the South. In Houston, Texas. I lived in Houston for a while. Actually had a neighbor, this guy, 19 years old. He lived upstairs in an apartment, and he overdosed drinking it. I mean, a couple of times people have asked me to drink it, but I always said no, so I don't have no experience with it. But Gucci Man talks about how he was addicted to this stuff. How it was a physical addiction. And it's sad. A lot of people was rapping about that and all. And it kills you. They say I've heard somebody refer to it as liquid heroin. you know, and I thank God that it's something that I never experimented with or whatever. But you can learn a lot from reading guys like this, even if you wasn't involved, in that type of lifestyle. You can learn a lot just reading about their life and how they was able to overcome it, man. I think that's the best thing about this book. How right now he's in a good space, man. He looks like a whole different person from what I know him. He lost so much weight, kind of influenced me, impacted me. Like, yeah, I could do it, lose that weight, get healthy, live sober, you know. I say it's something to it. I've been sober for about 2 years now, and you know, I'm finally getting to the point where okay, I'm getting used to this. Like I don't even think about, and my thing was just beer and cigarettes. I don't even think about going and get a cigarette. Like that don't even cross my mind no more. You know, I don't think about going to drink a beer no more because I know when I go exercise in the morning, when I go running, it's gonna mess me up. And I'm even getting to the point right now where I'm eating better foods, like certain foods, the ice cream, the potato chips, giving all that up. Totally. Like, I may have one cheat day a week, but even when a cheat day comes around, I don't even want to because I know the next day I want to go exercise. As soon as I finish this video, I got some sit-ups to do. So you just get better. I wish him the best. I wish anybody that's into, hip hop or music or whatever would read this book because he teaches a lot. Shows you what a role a young person that could get all this. Just show you how to control your anger and even if you want to be in that lifestyle and that rap music or whatever. Shows you how this guy just, he knew so much from dealing with people. He was such a people person. He's one of those type of people that it's look like people just draw to him. Everybody don't have that. So, I applaud him. I thought the book was excellent. I would tell anybody, hey, read it. You know what I mean? I mean, it's kind of it's from it's close. It's like a modern day Malcolm X, without the he's not a Nation of Islam or anything, but you know just how I wouldn't even call it a change. So is you, I mean, it might you get to a certain point where you just get fed up. You just get tired of living like that, And once you can do better, he talks about going to the federal penitentiary and start reading books and exercising, and just those two things to start making you better. And there's nobody that can stop you from doing that. And don't allow it to. I'm to the point now where I'm not going to let any job or anybody or anything stop me from exercising. I'm always going to do that for the rest of my life, because that's important to me. That's more important to me than a paycheck, my health. So, and staying sober, that's more important to me than anything. So there's certain things you got to get enough sleep because you want to be up early. There's certain lifestyle changes that you make, but it's for the better. So anyway, the autobiography of Gucci Man. Nice, pleasant, light read. I really enjoyed this book. See y'all later.